Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Huh? So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Hey, we want to shout out to our sponsors, Daytona Beach Comic Con. If you are a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of comic book conventions, and if you like meeting comic book creators and getting comics and comic-related stuff, then you need to make your plans to attend Daytona Beach Comic Con. This year's show is September 7th and 8th. Silverline will be there, so you should make your plans to be there too. We'll see you there. If you like comics and find yourself in the Orlando, Florida area, doesn't everyone come to Orlando at some point in time to see the House of Mouse? But when you're here, you need to make it a point to visit Coliseum of Comics, especially the one on East Colonial Drive. They carry Silverline Comics, even a limited edition Coliseum of Comics version of our comics. So, when you go, be sure to ask for Silverline Comics and tell them we sent you. OCD stands for Orlando Collector Deviants. OCD, Steve and Trish, they're a family of geeks who promote geek things, particularly those around the Orlando, Florida area. They're big supporters of Silverline, and we think you should be supporters of theirs too. Go give them some love. If you are an independent comic book maker and you need to get your independent comics made, you need to look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our books, and they do a bang-up job. They're not only trusted by Silverline, but many independent comic book makers. Head on over to kablam.com and see for yourself just how easy it is to have your comic printed by them. And tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kilber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday nights as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline. Oh, Frog in the Road. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Silver Sunday. I was trying to share this out one last time here. How is everyone doing this evening, this August 28th, 2022?
Not bad.
What, did you say exhausted?
Yes.
Did you go bike riding in today?
Yes.
You did.
You can't see it, but you might see my face. I'm sunburned from riding with Tommy.
I got a little burn from yesterday. Yeah.
Because there were no trees where we rode yesterday. Tommy, what are you snuggling up to right there?
Minnie Mouse?
Minnie Mouse?
Minnie.
Of
Okay.
course.
All right. Snuggling with Minnie.
Yeah, this is Pete's room. Here, Pete, look, here's your Minnie Mouse. You're gonna get here's one of your pillows.
Might have that big picture in there as well, because it looks I won't sleep very well.
It's a little scary, isn't it?
I'll take it out. I'll take it out here.
All right, let me take care of business before we get too distracted. Shout out to our sponsor, Daytona Beach Comic Con. If you are a fan of comic books and comic conventions, you should make your plans to go to Daytona Beach Comic Con September 10th and 11th, which is
right around the corner,
like 2 weeks away. So in 2 weeks, Daytona Beach Comic Con, all kinds of comic book goodness there. You should make your plans to attend. Big shout out to Coliseum of Comics. If you're in the Orlando, Florida area and you are looking for comic books, you should make your way over to Coliseum of Comics. They got all kind of comics, any kind of comics that you would want. Particularly, they have a Silverline Comics. Go to East Colonial and Coliseum of Comics in Claremont and ask for Silverline Comics by name. Tell them we sent you there, and and win us some bread. I actually got an email from them today, and they were saying, "Hey, we need to order some more copies of they were out of Sniper and Rook." So occasionally I hear from them, and they say, "Hey, we need some more stuff." So Coliseum Comics, go there and support them.
It's good news.
Yes, very good news. If you are a fan of comics, you should follow Orlando Collector Deviants. They are fan-driven, fan-made, fan-driven. Steve and Trish run that outfit. They go to all the local shows here, the ones that you can't make it to, and they do these cool little walkthroughs that you can see what's going on and see what you're missing. Orlando Collector Deviants. And last but not least, shout out to Kablam, who prints. It's a digital printer, and they print all of our comics.
I've heard of those guys.
If you're an independent comic creator and you need a comic book printed, you need to go to kablam.com. And in my hands, look what I'm holding here. I am holding a Teen Beetle exclusive.
Oh.
I'm also holding Trump's Kickstarter exclusive. And I'm also holding the Switchblade Kickstarter exclusive. That means I have these in my hands, and fulfillment for that Kickstarter should begin this week. So that is your Kickstarter update for the week. And we've got another one launching this should be this Thursday. So you guys plan on backing that one if you can. We've already got comments here. Bobby Westkovich says, "Hey, big dummy." It says, "Putting y'all on Facebook at home. Thank you, Screw Loose. We appreciate that. Share it all around." If you're listening to this right now, go to YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Silverline Comics and subscribe to our channel. We are trying to reach. We've actually even got a little contest going. Not contest, really. A giveaway going. We're trying to reach 500 subscribers, which is not impossible to do. Heck, we've got way more than that in store. I'm trying to see how many on Facebook alone. In our Silverline Comics group, if it would open here, you know how Facebook is. I need to be careful. Where's the number of people? How can I tell how many people there is? Can y'all figure that out? Oh, so 2,319 people follow this group, right? 2,000. So come on.
Why aren't they on Facebook?
One in four of you.
YouTube, yeah.
We only need 1 in 4 of you to go subscribe, and you don't even have to watch the videos. Just go subscribe to the channel, right? You can turn off if you don't want notifications. Like me, I don't ever want notifications. I subscribe to channels, but I don't get the notifications because I don't want to pop it up right on my computer. Go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Here's the deal. If we can reach 500 before Daytona Beach Comic Con, we are going to randomly select somebody, and we're going to give away tickets to Daytona Beach Comic Con. You will be able to get into Daytona Beach Comic Con for free because we're going to give you a ticket to get in. And then you can come see about a dozen of us, Silverliners, and a whole bunch of other people. So go like, of course, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us get that number up to 500. So we can do that with your help. We know we can. So I think that's it for the news. You guys have any news?
Yeah, I got news.
What's the news?
Pete's back.
I'm back.
From holiday?
From
holiday. That's right.
I was back last week, but no one turned up.
That's true.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that is true. No, I had a really good thing I was going to do last week, but y'all blew it.
Sorry. So where'd you go on holiday, Pete?
We went to Cornwall.
Okay.
Do you know where that is?
I do not know.
Okay.
I know the name.
Can you tell me where on the island it is?
Yes, it's at the bottom, at the left.
The bottom left in Wales.
It's very nice. It was very sunny. It was very stressful with a baby and a dog. But yeah, we had a nice time.
Good.
Yeah, good time.
Get to put your toes into the ocean for a little bit.
Yes, we did. We went in the sea. We dipped the baby's toes in the sea. She did not enjoy it. The dog loved it. But yeah, that was great. Really, just chilling out and yeah.
You were down there like 2 weeks, weren't you?
We were down there for a week.
A week, okay.
Just over a week. Yeah, just over a week. What else? Yeah, then we were back and we were down to my Tanya's family for the next week. So yeah, we were away 2 weeks, but holiday technically was just 1 week.
Yeah, I guess they got to enjoy the baby then, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, so I've always heard, Pete, you can confirm this if this is true or not. I always heard that because we are in August, so this is what I've always heard, that in August, in many parts of Europe, just shut down, just shut down because everyone goes on holiday. Any truth to that?
No, I don't think so.
No, okay.
Like all the stores and the power and the water, everything just
the
shuts
power
off.
and the water. They go back.
That would stink. The sewage, the trash. Nobody comes to pick up garbage.
No.
Man,
Just
I'm not going there during that time. That would
not
stink.
the utilities.
I quite literally stink. Yeah.
No, really.
No, okay. So you still do your shopping and all that kind of stuff.
Life goes on. Yeah, we're just
okay.
not the school holidays like you have school holidays.
I'm not sure why or where that comes from. But you know, I guess because August is the hottest month. I was told a long time ago. Yeah, Europe just shuts down for the month. Everybody kind of goes on holiday. I mean, not the trash and the electric companies, but like all the stores because. It's fine, so.
I guess in certain parts of Spain, they will close the stores in the hottest part of the day, and then they'll open again in the evening. So they have their siesta in the middle part of the day because it's too hot. And then
Nobody wants to
they
shop
have a
in the
very
middle of
late
the day.
night lifestyle. So early morning and late night is when everything happens.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Yeah.
No, life continues everywhere else.
It does get hot here, certainly in the later part of the day. I mean, just you don't want to be outside in August at like 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. That's just hot.
That's why they do a siesta.
Or 9, 10 o'clock.
The stores will close then. You see, the stores technically will close. I think.
That's interesting.
But then all the tourists, all the tourists still manage to live and do stuff. So I'm not sure how accurate that is.
Yeah, we don't have any of that, because I think we're getting ready to get rid of daylight savings time, which we've had for probably close to 100 years now. And of course, that was kind of for the farmers. Yeah, because they'd have to get up so early, and it makes they couldn't do business right with banks because they spend their daylight hours farming. Yeah. And so they created daylight saving time so that the businesses would be open in different hours, and farmers could then do business, in town. But I think they're doing away with that now. And one of the reasons that the U.S. and I don't know about anywhere else, but one of the reasons the U.S. does not have year-round school is because families needed their kids at home in the summer to take care of crops. It wasn't unusual that
makes sense.
Yeah. It wasn't unusual that before this kind of happened that families would just say, okay, none of you kids are going to school because we got to go out and take care of the farm stuff. And so rather than just have millions of kids missing school, they instigated a policy. Here's when our school years begin and end. And it accommodated farm families so that they could work the farm and then still get an education. So
that's part of
this bit of education brought to you by Silverline, the education.
That's part I flunked in college. I didn't remember any of that stuff.
Yeah, so Tommy and I spent a good deal of time talking about education. I don't know why we got there, but we spent a good deal of time talking about education on our bike ride yesterday. And one of the things that we kind of came to is that we were absolutely completely opposites in the college classes that we liked. Tommy's like, yeah, I hated English and history. but he loved the math classes. And that was exactly the opposite for me. I could not stand the math classes, but I liked the English and history classes. So what we should have done, Tommy, if we were smarter back then.
Oh, because we were
you see where I'm going, right? Yeah.
At the same time. Yeah, we should have cheated.
We should have said, Tommy, you go be rolling in this math class for me, and I'll go be Tommy in your history class.
Maybe I would have had a better GPA if we'd have done that.
Maybe I'd have had a better GPA for my bachelor's degree.
Yeah, you would have to take algebra 3 times or whatever.
Oh my gosh, I would not have to. Yes, I did take college algebra 3 times. Everyone, because yes, I couldn't figure it out. It made no sense. I'm like, why if I'm supposed to be doing numbers, why are there letters involved? What is AX times 2? How do you 2 A's? I don't know. It's the alphabet. It's not numbers. Yeah, I didn't like math. Still don't like math. That's why I have calculators.
Don't like it.
Yeah, who needs it?
That's right.
Just your wife.
Just my wife? Why
yeah, doing I don't know, didn't she do the books on the things she does? No.
Well, we got Barb doing the
Barb's
the CEO of Silverline, so yeah.
Yeah. Barb keeps the Silverline books, so she keeps all those numbers.
Yeah, Barb would definitely need it.
She's even got spreadsheets, though. She's got it automatic. She just puts numbers in and it calculates, right?
Yeah, it's all just a big... Yeah.
Probably.
So
sorry. Sorry, Sydney.
It's all good. So do you like you like math, Roberta?
Hate math.
She said that under her breath. Hate math. What about you, Pete? Math?
I've never been a math whiz. No, I've never been a math whiz. It's strange. Both my parents are amazing at math. They love it, but not me. No.
Yes.
Interesting.
I did not enjoy algebra. I managed to be fine in it eventually, but
eventually, did you have to take it 3 times also?
No, I had a hard time in high school. With it, but I mean, it was actually really easy once I figured it out. It just was, I was thinking about things backwards, and
because algebra is backwards.
It all came clear. No, it's just kind of like once you get it, but before that point, it just seems ridiculous.
Yeah,
we should throw up some equations on the screen and see.
Let's do art instead.
Okay, all right.
Well, I'll tell you this much, that it was more easy for me to do formulas in chemistry than it was formulas in algebra.
Really? Now, why was that, do you think?
I don't know. Just whatever the approach is with your brain, I don't know. It's got to be just the thinking process.
Yeah.
But I like figuring out what you're good at and avoiding things you're not. So.
Yes,
that's what I did.
I think that's key. Yeah, so I was telling Tommy, one of the classes I took in college was astronomy, because I thought, hey, how cool would this be? Because I mean, I like science fiction, right? It's all about
the stars. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Oh yeah, I thought we was going to go in and we were going to study star systems and this and this and that. No, we're calculating distances from little specks of light to the other specks of light. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I want to learn. I don't want to sit there and hold a dime up to the sky and say, this is how far this is based on this dime. And like, what the heck? Yeah, I didn't do very well in astronomy.
I don't even remember now. What was the class I told you I had to get the big book of notes, and then we
you went to Kinko's and then 2 airplanes off the building.
Philosophy? No, what was it?
Yeah. You said it was philosophy.
Yeah. After a couple of weeks, I'm like, I don't care about this. So I had the big old book. It was like 300 or 400 pages of stuff, and we went to the top of that. How big was that building? That was like a 15-story building. We went to the top and stuck up on the roof and made paper airplanes and threw them off the roof. It was a pretty tall building. The Science Tower, yeah.
I don't remember being.
I can't get in trouble for that now, right? That was a long time ago, right?
Yeah. No, you can't get in trouble for that now.
Okay, good. All right.
So Roberta can probably remember having to go to Kinko's for your school textbooks.
No, I had to go to Kinko's for my school art projects.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
Pete's
it was like all of my graphic design classes. We had to go, enlarge this thing that I cut out.
Yeah.
No, back at USM, you had some classes, well, your typical textbooks and stuff that you had to overpay for, but then there was some professors had their own books.
Yeah.
You had to go to the local copy center place.
I've never had that experience.
Spend 200 or 300 books for 300-400 pages, single.
Which equated to just being their notes.
Yeah, it was a ripoff for him to get more money. But I made a lot of good airplanes, though.
Yeah.
They never caught us.
Huh.
I really can't get in trouble, right?
No.
Okay.
It's been too long since that. The statute of limitations is passed for throwing paper airplanes off the top of the science building.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
I'm sure they don't care.
Yeah. So Pete, now you have a non-traditional education with the Kubrick School. Now you didn't have to take any sciences or math or anything there, did you?
No, of course not.
Yeah. It's
of course not.
Yeah, but that's not high school. That's
the college level class. Yeah.
Okay, I guess. Yeah. What do you call it? College.
College. Yeah.
Well,
That's what we're talking about here.
The trade school.
After high school. Yeah.
So you call when you finish high school.
You go to college.
Go to college. What's university for you then?
Same thing.
It's the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, college and university is the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So yeah, it's university. But it's university, you choose what you're studying. So you don't have to do maths and English. You don't want to choose to do it.
Oh no! You do. That's the reason why I almost flunked out.
You go to university and you're going to be a doctor. I'm not going to do maths.
Oh, they still make you. They still make you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that's getting into your higher learning stuff beyond the 4 years that you would take after. I mean, you would take some preliminary stuff or whatever, but you still had a core. Like I was telling you, Roland, yesterday. I kept calling it high school plus.
Yeah.
It's basically you got to take another 4 year or 2 years worth of like English and history and math and stuff, which I always thought was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
basically, Pete, it's like years 13 and 14 are core classes that everybody takes. So there's you have English and history and math and just kind of basic classes that everybody has to have, right? And then after that is when your junior year is when you go into your specialty. So if you're going to study, say, computer science, that's when you go into the maths and the languages. If you're studying English, then that's when you take the histories and the Shakespeare's and the literature studies and things like that.
The brain surgery is in the third year of school.
Yeah.
Right?
So I'm not sure exactly how medical stuff works, but I know that they have to take theirs would be like a science degree, but it would be like pre-med. Right, so it's specifically pre-med with the intentions of them going into.
It's like a lawyer, you got to do all that other stuff, and then you still have to do all the bar stuff and all that kind of crazy. Yeah.
So, Peter, you saying that in the UK, when you go to college, or university,
you high school kind of a deal. Yeah.
Well, you choose what subjects you want to do. You don't then get forced to do maths and English. So I'm gonna go and study to be an actor. Well, no, sorry, you got to do maths and English first.
Really? See,
maths and English. What's what you should be doing when you're at school. If you're leaving, you can't leave school. Well, you can leave school about it, but we do. You do an exam before you leave school.
To be good at English.
Exams. Mm-hmm. We do A levels before we leave high school. I guess you do exams before you leave high school.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't pass them?
I call them the AWOLs from Harry Potter. That's what I call them.
You have to repeat them. we have we also have a like a dropout a degree, so you could drop out of school and then go take your GED.
You could. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to do A levels here. If technically school finishes the 2 years before that, you could go and get a job at the age of 16. But most people tend to stay on until 18.
Right.
But even then, even A levels, you don't have to do maths and English. You choose what subjects you want to do at A level.
So it's more of a technical college kind of a thing, what we would call technical college, or like what in your school, Roland. They're not doing other. Yeah.
We're not a technical college, no.
No.
We call ourselves, we're an entertainment university, you know, and so because of the university label, we do have to have core classes. So we do have everybody takes but I will say this, our core classes are super easy. I mean, because we know no one's there to take those core classes, and so our history is like super easy. You know, all of those things are really easy in order to get them to their specialty.
I'd still flunk it.
Nah,
I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you. You can take my classes for me.
But yeah, so you know, we actually don't teach beyond the really, really super basic stuff. We don't teach any math or science or anything like that here. You know, not unless it's directly related to like programming or something like that you have to have for your like game design or things like that. You know, we don't even teach like for our creative writing degree. We don't teach any grammar or anything like that. That's in the very early the core classes. Then, but when they get to us, it's like, okay, we expect that you've already got that down.
You can already write, put a sentence together.
Yeah, that's the expectations, not the reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for our universities, you can't really. There's some course you can't do unless you passed your maths and English. If you haven't passed maths and English, then you can't do the course. So if you fail that at your A level or your last exams, you have to go redo it, pass it.
Right.
So there's no need to get taught it again if you pass the exam.
So what comes after the A level?
You go to university.
Okay.
If you whatever their profession is, wanting whatever they're trying to study for, whatever their real job.
Yeah. So do you have? Are there B levels?
No.
So why is it called A level then?
I don't know. No, I didn't.
But, I mean, that would be basically what we're calling high school, like the through level 12 kind of a thing. Yeah. But then after 12, once you start into going to college, university, or whatever, it's you're learning your whatever it is that you're wanting to do for the rest of your life, or for at least for the next 4 years, or whatever you want to say. How many years are the classes usually? I mean, generally speaking, to get a bachelor's degree, here is like 4 years, more years worth of school. So what is it over there, Pete?
What's what?
Like Pete's falling asleep. Once you're done with high school here, it's to get a bachelor's degree or whatever. It's usually like 4 more years worth of school.
No, it depends what you're doing. Typically it's 3 years unless you're being a doctor or a vet or something like that.
Yeah, which then it's forever.
Yeah. 3 years. No, 3-year courses.
3 would be nice.
Well, it sounds like they're just skipping, what we're doing over here by using the same crap again.
Maths and English. What a waste of time that is.
Yeah, no, it was, because I didn't take any of them at the beginning, and I just took the stuff I wanted to take, and then it was time for me to take the other crap, and I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't happy. So I did, but I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our system. I'm one who believes our system needs a major overhaul, in a lot of different ways. Price, of course, being one of them. So
well, they're putting out obviously this week they've decided they're going to put the fees up for our university for overseas students up by by a lot.
Really?
By a lot. It was 10,000.
Trying to discourage
It was
people.
10,000, which I know is small, nothing for you guys. It was 10. It's now 25,000 a year, so it's more than doubled.
Wow.
Overseas students.
So they're really trying to discourage international students there.
I don't know if they're just trying to discourage it, or they're complaining that they don't have enough money, and so who they going to try and penalise and overseas students.
Yeah, you'd rather them do that, right?
Well,
as a citizen, you'd rather them penalize the non-citizens coming in and taking the classes.
I guess they have to. I mean, they get hit really hard anyway. I mean,
well, and I think too, because I know
the overseas students that come here have got so much money.
Yeah.
They come from China and places, and they're living in luxury compared to other students.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's much the same way at in American universities. Calculus says, "Heyo, what's up, Calculus?" What an appropriate name for us to be talking about math. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the case for a lot of folks here. Is like, hey, if you've got to raise tuition, raise it for the international students. I know after 9/11 here, because I was teaching, that's when I first started teaching. After 9/11 here, the international student prices went way up, and as did other admission requirements. But all of our students used to be, I shouldn't say all of them, the overwhelming majority of them used to come from a lot of money. In fact, I got a Turkish student, a former Turkish student of mine, who tells me, whenever whenever you visit Turkey, Mr. Man, please come stay with me. And I went and looked. His family owns this huge, immaculate hotel, right? And I'm like, that is one huge, really nice hotel. They got any
comic shows in the area? We'll go.
I know, right? and of course, I like to tease with them, right? And they would say, "Where do you live?" And he'd say, "Istanbul." I said, "Oh, you mean Constantinople?" He goes, "No, Istanbul." I'm like, "It's Constantinople." "No, Mr. Man, it's Istanbul." He goes, yeah. Calculus says, "Yeah, my name is pretty dumb." You said it, not us. So okay, we're actually here to talk about recharging your batteries.
I forgot about that.
Any guys want to share? Tommy, Pete?
No.
Roberta always shares.
I share too much.
No, not too much.
The iPad. Okay, give me a sec.
Okay. All right. So we're here to talk about recharging your creative batteries. So one of the things about being creative is that it can emotionally tax you, right? I mean, you can be creative, and we enjoy it, right? We enjoy doing it. That's why we do it. But it can make you tired in a way that's not. It's not like you got out and rode a bike for 16 miles and make you tired that way. But being creative can still drain you. It can still. There can be times when you feel like, hey, I'm not sure I want to draw today. I'm not sure I want to write today. I'm not sure I want to, do this creative thing today. So what are some of the strategies you guys have for recharging your creative batteries? What do you do? I
have no idea. I feel like I'm working all the time. I don't know how I don't know.
Well, so all right. Well, hit my question then. Is all right. So do you reach a point though, Pete? You feel like you're working all the time, and do you reach a point where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, or are you still like, this is fun? I'm working a lot, but this is still something I want to do.
Yeah, I've not got to the point where I don't want to do this. I've got to the point where I need a day off. So but I feel bad if I'm not drawing. So I'm like, I really should be drawing. I've got so much to do. But some days, I think it's okay for me to take a day off. I'm trying to tell myself it's okay for me to take a day off. It's okay. I've got hundreds of comic books I can't read because I don't have time. I should read some. But no, I should be drawing. And it's worse now because I've got the iPad. So I can sit downstairs in front of the TV and still work when I should be chilling out. So I rest even less than I would have done before.
Yeah.
I recognize that. So no, I don't know how I relax, and I'm not sure that I do.
So do you think that it's possible that you need to do more of that?
Oh yeah.
But more work?
No. No, I mean more recharging your creative batteries. So you mentioned
Can I speak on this for a second?
Yeah, go.
Yeah. I'd have to say, in Pete's case, that he does a lot of work. And what I've noticed is that there's a rhythm that you get into that if you're in a groove, you can keep going and it does not hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But it's when you kind of start getting a little bit busy and you try to start fitting your work that is guilting you. I've got to get this done. I got to get this done. It's harder to get over that threshold point. So the recharge, I think, is the peace of mind before you go into it, and not when you're already in the frame of mind of like, I really should be doing this. I've noticed I do a lot better work when I haven't been saying that to myself before getting started.
Yeah. Well, you never, for what we're doing, you never want it to be so it's always work, and I have to be careful.
Work. I mean, I enjoy doing it.
Yes,
you can love your work and still find it to be hard.
Yes, right. Yeah, but you never want it to be a chore, but it's okay to be work, And I think that's one of the differences that you kind of have to make.
Yeah.
Well, even when it's work and you have a lot of it, it doesn't ever reach a chore status. It just reaches, like you were trying to start this off with the thought of your energy towards your creative side gets taxed.
Yeah.
So you really don't want to hit that while you're in the middle of doing a lot of it.
Yeah.
So your best bet is to find yourself, in a task that puts you calmly in a curious place, I think. Like where you're saying, I wonder what this is. I wonder what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems to be the frame of mind that works the best for being at ease when you're working.
Yeah. So one thing
that's what I've found.
Yeah. So one thing Pete mentioned about he had hundreds of comics that you haven't read yet, and so Calculus says, I always find it a little funny when it gets to being a struggle to keep up with reading comics when you're also making them.
Yeah, I often, when I used to read interviews with comic artists, and they would say, "Oh, what are you reading at the moment?" And they all answered, "Oh, I haven't read a comic book in ages." I'm like, "Well, that's strange.
Yeah,
we work comics. We don't read the comics." I understand now. You don't have
you can't read the comics.
So many I would really love to read that. It was good. I went on holiday and I took a whole bag full of comics with me. And of course, we never actually took a break for me to sit down. I read maybe 3 of them in a week.
So you had a good holiday then.
It was good. No, it was good. We got out and we did stuff. We were out, but because we were out and doing stuff, and because you got a baby that's 10 weeks old, you can't really stop. Someone's always got to have the baby, and that's another added guilt I have. So I'm up in my studio. I'm trying to work. I'm like, I've been up here 2 hours now. She probably needs a break. or she just burst in and said, I need you to take the baby for 15 minutes. I've got things to do. Okay.
Yeah, it's good if you can figure that out before she gets to that point.
Exactly. Yeah. So how much can I get done?
Yeah, no,
I have that problem reading too. I really can't. If I pick a thing to do with my time, it would be creating it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I hear people say when they talk about, oh, well, what are your hobbies? And of course, because teaching is my full-time job. I'm like, well, when I have free time, I like to make comic books. It's like that's what I want to do. But and they say, well, that's work. Yeah, it is work, but I enjoy doing that, and that's something that I like to do with my free time.
Yeah.
But
does
also,
that not equate for people that work? That something that is a hobby could actually be also work, just because it takes energy and it takes thought. And
yeah, I think
they think it's playtime. That
you're right. Yeah. So let's go back. Let's sit on this reading comics as well. So I try to read comics, right? Obviously, because it's one of the things we do. But I also think it's very important for comic book makers to read non-comic content. I think it's in, and I mean, I guess you could put watch stuff too. I don't watch as much,
Can you count audiobooks? Because
I would say that.
It saves my eyes.
Now, I will say this, Roberta, and we'll fight because Tommy and I talked about this a little bit. Listening to an audiobook is not the same thing as reading a book.
But it is better than an adaptation.
Right?
You are absolutely correct. It's better that you're still consuming that content, right? But
you still hear the writer's voice, even if an actor does a bad job in it.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. And you still get the content. You still get whatever it is that you're listening to. You still get it. So you
just got writers laughing at you. That's all.
Yeah, well,
I read that book, and they're like, no, you didn't.
Well, Tommy and I have some mutual friends who are like, oh, I read, X number of books this year. And they're like, oh, yeah, you listen to them on audio book. That's not the same thing. It's like, I respect that you this not you, Roberta, but these friends. It's like, I respect that you listen to these books. Absolutely. Because that's more than I did. Right. But listening to a book is not the same thing as reading, because you're using different you're using different muscles.
Because I've said it. I don't read anything. If it's not an Audible book, I'm not reading any book. But I'll make fun of the people.
Hadn't read Silverline Team Up yet.
That goes back to the previous statement about about not having time to read books. See, my full-time job, if people don't know, is Kablam Digital Printing. I print hundreds of books a week, and I have to look through them all. Sometimes I just don't want to read everything. I want to read nothing. I don't want to, I love making the books, but sometimes it's like, oh, did you read it? Well, sort of. I drew it. I helped draw it. Is that enough?
I inked every single line in that comic. You want me to read it too?
Yeah, I know what's going on. This guy is yelling and spitting all over the place. Something Pete drew. I don't know what he drew.
Yeah.
But you were saying about the people that do that say they read all these books, and most of them are Audible. I mean, I'm with you. I don't think that's reading a book, but that's the only way I would, at this point in my life, that's the only way that I would be able to read a book, because I just don't have time to sit there and read a book, so I'd have to listen to it.
That's why I do it. Because
I'm going to make fun of those people, but also that's the only way that I'm reading a book.
Well, and so I think so here's where I think artists and writers differ a little bit, right? So you guys can do the art and listen to something like that. I cannot listen to a book, an audio book, and also write.
Well, I can't either do it with graphic design.
I don't know what's wrong with you. You ought to be able to figure that out.
No, I can't do it with graphic design either, because it involves words. I'm reading text. Right. So it's two different sides of your brain. And I've noticed when I can do it and when I can't. That's why I like graphic design so much, is because there is a balance between actual right brain and left brain art.
But now you could do it when you color,
somebody's
right?
calling, someone's calling me, talking to me, or I'm listening to an audiobook, I can't function to read and look for mistakes and copy.
Right.
It's just impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible.
But if I am looking through my car photos for a nice angle, I am perfectly happy to listen to something.
Yeah.
So it just really inspires you, to make use of your time with entertainment when you can find it.
Yeah. Well, and again, I try to read. I try to read comics. I try to read. Of course, you guys know I back a lot of Kickstarters, so I try to read as many of the Kickstarter books as I can. I think I told somebody the other day, I'll give the comic, half the comic. If it's not any good, I'm gonna stop reading. Right. They're like, oh, but you backed it. It's yours. Yeah, I backed it. It's fine. But I'm gonna give it some time to see if I like it. I'm gonna give it about half the book, and if I haven't figured it out by half the comic and I don't know what's going on, then that's, and for me, that used to be something I'd never do. I would always read to the end because I'm like, hey, I'm obligated
for it. Yeah.
I paid for it. I'm obligated. But now I'm kind of like Pete. I got way too many books that I haven't read. If you haven't caught my attention by about half of the book,
next
10, 11, 12, 15 pages, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
I don't have time. I'm going to move on to the next thing that I've also paid for.
I'd rather go to sleep. Try to get some sleep in.
My problem in balancing the reading stuff is I have a problem balancing comics and non-comic stuff, because I like to read. Obviously, I like to read science fiction and I like to read histories. Those are my two go-tos. And so when I sit down to read, it's like, okay, am I going to read a comic book or am I going to read, this sci-fi book that I'm reading now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna. This is not an attempt to take this conversation in a different direction, but I have a tendency to read comics when I'm doing my business in the bathroom these days.
Oh, come on now, John. I need to know that.
Disgusting. That book is no longer, good quality anymore. You can't be.
I wash my hands.
Well, you don't wash the book. Oh, disgusting. I know not to borrow any books from you when I'm over at your house.
Maybe that's why he does it, so he doesn't have to loan out his comics.
That's probably right.
If I thought that was the reason, that would be the reason to do it. I have loaned out 4 copies of the Watchmen graphic novel, and only 3 of them have ever made it back, which is why I have owned 4. Because I loaned one, it didn't return. I bought another one. I loaned it never came back. Bought another one. So
I'm surprised it got loaned again at that point.
Well, it's one of those things that
somebody's not learning.
Yeah. Calculus says I tend to have a dumb show on when I'm doing art. So
you must be doing art right now.
Don't answer that, Calculus.
Oh, I can speak to that also. So
okay.
when I have certain types of parts of work that I'm going through, there's a level of I have quality of attention in the different shows. So I'll find a dumb show that I don't need to pay attention to.
Well,
and I can watch that. I can watch that while I'm doing some of the.
I can watch anything while I'm doing the artwork. It doesn't matter. I'm good at.
Calculus has answered you,
I've seen 1,000 times, so I know what's going on. To look at it.
I cannot watch
anything. Answered you, Pete. Calculus has answered you.
Oh, yeah, was it?
Yeah, yes. He's doing art right now.
Told you. It's okay. We knew. We knew.
Because one of the things I can do is I can get invested in the story and realize I'm not doing any art at all. So I have to.
Yeah.
I have to watch something that I don't care about.
Yeah. I do a little thing where I look up at the TV every few minutes so I can see the people, and then all of a sudden I'm go back to my art, and then when I hear them talking, I'm just making up my own comic in my head of what's going on the TV.
So it's an audiobook show, basically.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. So it's I can I think probably what's going on in my head based off the dialogue is probably better than what's on the screen anyway. So
You might be right.
yeah, some TV shows anyway. Because we watch a lot of Hallmark stuff because that's what Renee likes to watch.
Do you really?
Oh yeah. Pete, we're gonna make you watch Hallmark when you come in. Oh, Pete, by the way, when you get here, you're going to have to help us figure out some of these UK Law and Order shows because we don't know what these people are saying on some of these shows.
I've given you some recommendations for some very good shows.
We were half of those we've already watched.
Oh, I see.
Yep, we'll take them. Yeah.
I want to hear your list.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We should
do the list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So reading, I think reading is a great way to recharge creative batteries because I think that when you read stuff that you like, then I think that inspires you.
It does.
And kind of recharges the creative batteries, right? I know that when I read because I'm you guys probably remember I'm an Isaac Asimov fan. I'm rereading.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a kick right now, rereading a couple of things that I like. I've been rereading Cerebus.
What are you reading? Okay.
I've been rereading Cerebus, and I've been rereading the robot novels from Asimov.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah, and those are so good. And what happened, I think you read those, and it makes your brain work, right? It makes your brain start getting all these ideas. This is a cool thing, and this is a cool thing, and then it makes you start thinking about, well, I could do this or I could do that, right? And I think reading is just a fantastic way to recharge your creative energies.
Yes.
Yep, I think so.
We will agree.
So, all right, so that's reading. Calculus is I refuse to read Cerebus out of principle. I would be interested in knowing what that principle is.
What's
I think Cerebus is one of the easily.
I'd like to hear what the problem is.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, because I would put Cerebus in the top 10 indie comics, top 10 indie comics of all time. I think.
Oh, I've never read it.
You should. It's good.
I've got a lot of books to read. Let's not add more to it.
It's on his pile.
Dave Sim is the problem, is what he said. I don't know Dave Sim, so I don't know. I don't know why that's the problem. So I guess we'll just leave it at that. Tom, did you ever meet Dave Sim?
I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't ever remember. I know what he looks like. I mean, I've seen him obviously because of the internet, but I don't think I've ever met him. I don't know much about him. I know that Gerhard, is that the name of the guy who did all of his backgrounds there towards the middle part? I think just phenomenal stuff.
I don't remember.
Didn't he end up doing most of the art period? I think
he ended up doing all of the non-figure work. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think Dave Sim did the figure work, and then Gerhard did all of the. Oh, I did not know this. Calculus says he had admitted to having relations with young girls.
All right. Well, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
that
could be an issue.
Principle. Yeah, that's a principle.
Yeah, that could be an issue. I did not know that.
It is really tough when people, have such talent.
Yes.
And make such amazing work, and then they do such crappy things with their personal life.
Yep. And it is unfortunate, but it seems to be not terribly uncommon with creative types, Hollywood types, that kind of thing. So I think Sim is a Canadian. I think I'm not real sure about that, but
Canadians.
But anyway, so what about so we talked about reading then. What else are the other things that can recharge your creative energies?
Well, once a week or on the weekends, I try to go biking. That helps me get my energies back up. Just not thinking. Just not thinking about comic book stuff. Except for us talking about it while we're back there.
I've seen a people break some social media.
Yeah. Have you ever done that, Pete?
No, I can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
That's great if you're doing great for yourself, but no, if you're reliant on trying to get yourself known, then nah, sorry.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. Yeah.
I'm happily too shy to worry about it.
Yeah, Roberta's like, yeah, I have all the social medias, but I never post.
I'm on there.
No, I don't. I do nothing. I'm sorry. I apologize only slightly because.
Only slightly.
Yeah. Roberta's like, I'm shy and I embrace my shyness.
I would like to figure out how to be less awkward about it, but yes, I do embrace my shyness.
So I will say, Roberta, because you know that of course I love you here. You just in the time that we've been streaming, your shyness on the stream has changed. Have you recognized that at all?
I guess I have, because I know that I was a lot more nervous about it.
Yeah, you would hardly speak at all on the. I mean, you came on, which I think is. You
give me some props for.
Yeah, of
bravery.
course, right? Yeah,
it was hard. Really
but
was.
you would say very little, which I think is probably, and this is okay. I'm psychoanalyzing Roberta now, which is why I think why you were always so quick to volunteer to do the artwork, because you're like, okay, I'm going to do the artwork and speak less. But you've been doing this for 2 years now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
getting there, yeah.
So I would say you go back and listen to that those first couple of streams with you.
I will cringe, won't I?
No, you don't think you cringe. You were just like, am I on there?
Right.
So and I think that's
good.
No, absolutely. Big props for that. But I think that's part of what it is that you've been able to do it repeatedly. Plus you have somebody like, certainly me and Tommy who have no reservations about talking.
Rambling on. Shut up. You guys talk too much.
Oven says, hello, Silverline family.
Howdy do.
What's up, Oven? I am still trying to talk Oven into coming to Daytona, y'all. So I'm
nice.
Yeah.
Well, we met him at the show, right?
We did. Yep. He was at Infinity, and I'm trying to let him know that there's going to be the four of us will be there. So at Infinity, it was me and you and Haley and Jose. Wait, Crowler was there. Crowler was there too.
Sure.
So yep. And so we'll be there plus about half a dozen more of us. So. So Oven told me some weird stuff about it, and I'm not sure I should air this, but he told me some weird stuff about the convention. So what I will say, Oven, is bring all of those.
The one that we went to?
Yeah, it surprised me. Oven, bring all of those books that you intended to have signed but weren't able to. Bring all of those to Daytona, because I am 99% sure. Yeah, I know. I'll tell you later, Tommy. Because I am 99% sure that you'll be able to bring those in and get those signed.
Oh, so, that's weird.
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
So I hope, Oven, you're still working to make plans to come up to Daytona in 2 weeks.
Yeah, Oven, you need to come because Pete is coming all the way from across the ocean there.
Yeah, he's hopping in the rowboat tomorrow.
Yeah. Got to come see Pete for if anything. I mean, you've already seen Roland and I, so we don't.
Yeah. Well, we were talking. I guess BJ and I were talking the other day. So Pete's coming from the UK. Tim TK is coming from Oregon. Quentin is coming from Texas. Then we've got Wakefield and Rory and Jeremy all coming from New York. So.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and then of course all of us locals here, which we're coming from next door,
from up the street.
Yeah, I think Haley said the show is so close to her she could almost walk.
Oh, boy.
So,
Actually, the place that I went bike riding today rode right by the that convention center
Really?
building. Yeah, I didn't realize it was that same area.
You were up in DeLand? Okay. All right. So Tommy rides bikes to recharge his creative energy. What else?
Well, I like going to the parks too, going to Disney and stuff. Boy, that's my big thing. When I can go.
Yeah.
I so much enjoy going out to the parks. So much fun. Meaning going to Disney and Universal.
Yeah. For those who don't, he doesn't mean like the park where you go and walk your dog.
No. Yeah.
I would tell you, I like actually going to comic book conventions. It's work, but it's a different kind of work because you're not sitting down and creating, but you're socializing with others who do the same kind of work, and as well as the people who appreciate comic books and your fans. That for me is a massive recharging of my creative energies. I return from a comic show just anxious to work. I'm tired almost always.
I return, that's what I was saying. I return exhausted when I go.
but so you're exhausted, but aren't you? Are you not ready to work?
No.
See, for me, I'm tired.
I'm ready to stop for a day or two, and then just relax and do something else.
Yeah, see,
I think it boils down to my fact that I deal with comics all day long, every day.
I can see that.
So when I can do something that's not comic book related for a little bit, I think it's that's fun for me.
Yeah. I can see that. I think for me, part of it is I like the fraternization with the other creators that are there. That I
don't get me wrong, that's fun. I love doing it. I love going to shows and stuff. But it's like afterwards, it's like, oh no.
I don't want to see a page.
I don't want to see.
Oven said, I had an argument with a friend that lives out there, and she thinks I'm taking crazy pills about Daytona Beach Comic-Con being in DeLand. You're not taking crazy pills, Oven. It really is in DeLand.
Why is this a thing? Why is DeLand a thing? What's going on?
So all right. So long story short, Pete. So Daytona Beach Comic-Con used to be in Daytona Beach. Okay. But when COVID happened, the venue that the convention was at told the guy he couldn't come back when he wanted to come back. And so he kept trying to. They just couldn't. They couldn't work out a date. And so he's like, "Well, I don't want to cancel the convention." So he moved to a city south of Daytona that could host what he wanted to do.
You needed a venue big enough to do the show, and that
right. And that happened to be DeLand. So DeLand is about 30 minutes south of Daytona. Yeah. But it's still called the Daytona Beach Comic-Con, but it's in DeLand. So, yeah. Calculus says, I usually end up talking to other creators who paid for a table. I enjoy talking to the other creators as well. This is part of the reason I like to get there early, because during the show, I kind of feel like I ought to be behind my table for when someone comes up that I can talk to them.
Yeah, I don't tend to leave my table when I'm at a convention, just for that reason. It's like, I'm working and also don't tend to go and buy stuff. So I'm like, well, I'm here to make money, not to go and spend money.
Yeah.
If I do really well, then I'm like, you know what, I'll go and buy that.
So do y'all have cheap boxes over there, Pete?
Do you have what?
Do you have the cheap boxes?
Oh yeah, but I don't go through those. I'm not interested in comic books. I want the stuff that my first appearances and things like that. I want.
Okay, I got you.
That's why. I don't have time to read comic books, so I don't want to go and buy 50 comic books, which just going to add to a pile of stuff that I'm never going to read. So
yeah.
one book, like, yeah, I'll read the one book. That's cool.
Okay. So when I come back with 80 comics that were a quarter a piece, that's not you.
Can't do that. No.
You don't have like a series that you're trying to get everything, kind of a thing, like Roland and I are Amazing Spider-Man guys. We try to pick up those books. So I'm trying to here and there. I pick up Amazing Spider-Man books to try to fill my holes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't do that, Pete?
No, I will. I'm a Spider-Man person, but I'll go and try and find those an issue. Yeah, one of those early issues that's reasonably priced and in budget. But that's what I used to do when I was going to conventions as a fan. If I go to convention now, it's because I'm going to be working there.
Yeah.
I don't go as fans because I see it as a missed opportunity. If it's a good convention, then I'll get a table. If it's a bad
convention, be there. Yeah.
I'll go anyway.
Yeah.
I've done shows where I'm never going to go back. I would never go back. No matter how much they lowered the price, I wouldn't go back to do it. It's a waste of my time.
Yeah, we have some of those out here too.
But then
Wubba says, "Hola, Wubba, why are you not on here with us?"
He said he was going to start coming back on.
He said that, but
Hi, Wubba.
I saw him post a bunch of sketches this week, and I'm sitting there going, "Wait, dude, you're doing commission stuff? I thought you were drawing cat and mouse. Got me all wondering now."
Busy man.
Cube Tube says, "Hello, everyone. Quentin is here. Look at that, Quentin. What's going on?"
Hello.
Blimey.
And
I need to know what Quentin does to recharge.
Calculus says 25-cent books are the bomb for poor young comic fans. I agree. There's so I like the cheap boxes because there's so much you can find there that you might not have been aware of before. And that's what I like to do. I like to go through and buy stuff going, what the heck is this? For a quarter, you can't go wrong, And I know I was telling Tommy recently, the other thing I like to do is I'll pick up books that I've already got with the intention of giving them to someone I think might enjoy them,
Like Pete.
Like Pete, yeah. Like Pete. Roberta, I know I've tossed some stuff Wubba's way. Yep. Wubba says, "Hi, Roby." And he goes, "I am drawing cat and mouse." So shut up, Roland.
Oh, okay then. Hi then.
Hi,
Wubba.
You should still be on here with us, Wubba. I'm not sure whether he is in Louisiana or Texas now. I think he's in Texas now.
He moved, right? So I think Texas.
Yeah, Texas. I think Texas. So here you go. Calculus says random black and white explosion books are the best part, and I agree wholeheartedly. The other thing, Wubba says Texas. The other thing I like about the cheap boxes is I'm able to buy stuff that, particularly the black and white explosion stuff. There's a lot of that stuff that came out in the late 80s, early or mid late 80s. I didn't get because I was getting so many other books. I couldn't afford to get them all. And so I can go back now and like, oh, cool, I can get this now. And I'm trying to complete a run of Grimjack that I didn't get the first time. John Sable. What else? Whisper. I just started picking up some Whisper. Oven says, speaking of cat and mouse, will there be a volume 2? There will actually be a volume 3, Oven, because what you're reading now is volume 2. I am more than halfway finished with the omnibus for the first volume, which I hope will be available when we kickstart issue number 4 of volume 2. Wubba has already drawn the first issue of volume 3. So that first issue is already penciled. And Jose is inking that. Jose's got a couple of pages inking finished with those. So, and Roberta will be coloring them.
Are they in the server? Can I find them? Can you send them over?
I don't know if Jose showed me.
Like to see them.
He's shown me images, but I don't know if he's uploaded the high reses yet. So I can't answer that question, Roberta, because I'm not sure.
Okay. I had to ask because I've been stalking the folders, always looking for new work.
I know, yeah. Wubba says, I'll be in Texas for the foreseeable future till the Mississippi stuff gets sorted. So, all right.
Well, Roberta, pretty soon you're going to have Champion Mystery number 2 to start working on, because I'm getting close to being done with this book.
Nice.
Okay. Are you?
Then.
Yes.
Oh. Right.
Yeah. What says
I'll do something else, and yeah, I'm almost finished with that. It's fine.
How close are you to finishing issue?
Well, I'm on page 18, but I've also done the last page, so I don't know, 2 or 3 pages to go.
Okay. Well, I'm only about
here. Just need to be like penciled over.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad that I started work on the plot for number 3 last week. So I'm about only about 1/4 of the way finished with it. Okay. Wubba says I'm cranking on the next issue of Cat and Mouse. He means volume 3. So if we were to number them consecutively, Oven, that would be number 6 that Wubba's working on. But we're going to make that the next volume. So Wubba's already finished issue 1, and now he's penciling issue 2 of volume 3. Calculus says, go ahead, Roberta.
You want me to share?
Yeah, why don't you? We'll kick Tommy off and you share a bit.
Oh, I'm leaving.
So Calculus says, I want to get all the Grimjack omnibuses. First comics left us too soon. I agree. There is a first comic still out and kicking. It's not this. I don't think it's the same people, though it might be. But I know that there is still a first comics out there. Yeah. I see them. Yeah, I see them on some of the places. Oh, look at this. We got to drop in. Say hi to Quentin, everybody.
Oh, wow.
Hello.
Now, we can only have 4 people on the show at one time.
Is that my roomie?
Yes, it is.
It is. Quinn looks like he's got a new you got a new layout. You moved your camera and everything?
I moved offices. That's what we've been doing all week until 2:30 in the morning. Getting off work, doing homework with the kids, and then in here moving around, playing, musical chairs with the rooms. So
wow, look at this, and he's already got fans hollering at him. Guaba says, "Hey, Q," and
hey.
Calculus says, "Hey-o."
What's going on?
So, you're back to Roberta here. So yeah, Quentin. So we've been talking about. You probably heard some of it. How do you recharge your creative batteries? What things do you do to kind of keep the creative juices going? We talked about reading.
You talked about reading.
Well, and the rest talked about not reading.
Yeah.
Can I add a non-entertainment option?
Sure.
Talking to my artist friends are the highest motivation that I ever have to get right back to work every time.
Are you suggesting like maybe what we're doing right now?
Yes, I think maybe it works.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that works.
Or something.
So look at this one.
I think. Oh, that's nice.
I've got a lot of grass going on, but look at the fire.
Oh, nice.
Fire.
Look at it. Oh, look at it. Wubba says the colors look so good, Roby.
Thank you. Trying.
Yeah, this is nice. So, Oven, if you're still around, this is next issue of Cat and Mouse. Yeah, I find one of the things I was going to mention certainly are our weekly streams. I find that chat with you guys, carrying on, trying to talk about some serious subjects, but most of the time just kind of carrying on is a way that kind of keeps my creative energies and juices going.
That's good with me.
Everybody else, yeah, we don't want to talk to you.
Well,
were you saying something?
all it takes for me is picking up a comic book, or and just kind of going through. Like a while ago, I was reading Twilight Grim.
Nice.
And, just getting into the comic book and looking and seeing how people did certain things, and man, that's cool. And or hey, I would have did it a different way. But anyway, just looking at a comic for me, that usually recharges me or gets me ready to do something.
Yeah.
But sometimes it takes a little more. So sometimes it's just a matter of doing it. You gotta do it.
Right. Yeah.
Make it till you make it.
Yeah. Button chair, right?
That's right.
Button chair. You got to get your butt in the chair and you got to do it.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing in the world to do most of the time. But when it's not, and it's still got to be done, you just got to do it. You got to get in there until you feel it.
Yeah, that's right. Like Nike. Just do it. Calculus says, talking to my random artist friends always gets me hyped up on stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good too.
Yeah. I think, I think when, here we go. Owen says, I did have Cat and Mouse 3. I looked at some old PMs and somehow I physically had it in my hands after the first Kickstarter. So good. That was a question that Owen had at the show. He wasn't sure whether he had the third issue or not. And you guys, we gotta thank Owen too. I may have said this last week. We got to thank Owen too because he bought at least 2 issues, maybe 3. I can't remember, but he bought a couple of issues of he bought like Cat and Mouse 1 and 2 for a friend of his that was there with him, and he says, "I'm going to buy these for you because you need to read them." So, yeah,
thank you.
So absolutely, yeah. Thank you, Owen, for doing that.
Merci.
Because you need to read.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Quentin, did you have any other thoughts on recharging your creative energies?
Well, that's pretty much it. There's a lot of things I get excited about. I'm in this cover right now. I'm pretty excited about it, but there's some things sometimes I'm not. I don't know. I just have to get inspiration. So I just start thumbing through my books. I have a lot of books, just comics that I like, and, from some really good artists. And they always, some of them jaw dropping, some of them are, just ones I enjoy. And then there's the art of certain games, books that I have. I do that. And, whatever I can do. Sometimes sometimes some things don't work and sometimes other things do, but at the end of it all, I have to just do it, sometimes I just got to make myself do it, because, I don't know about, I think, most of y'all in here, y'all have day jobs and it's hard, like me, I work every day, all day. Sometimes 12 hours in this seat, and to pull back and then go eat and go do homework with the kids and then have to push back up here. Sometimes it's tough. I've been riding this chair. I ought to name this chair like a horse because I'm telling you, I ride this thing all the time.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm going back to Bessie.
Yeah. Yep. And sometimes it gets tough, but sometimes to switch gears, that's what I have to do. If I'm going to do if I'm going to do a comic book page or if I'm going to do whatever it is, I have to pick that thing up and look at it, and just kind of get in the mode, a lot of times looking at older comics that mean something to me, ones that I've had for a long time or something, that helps a lot because that kind of, in a little way, reminds me, of my love for it, So yeah, that's how I do it. Shows, TV, man, I wish it used to be, but that is like a double-edged sword for me. Sometimes they can actually take me out of whatever I'm doing.
Interesting.
Kind of get me, wanting to do that more than doing what I should be doing.
Yeah, didn't I say that? I was like, I get totally sidelined sometimes.
Yeah. So I don't watch a lot of stuff. I don't watch a lot of stuff as much anymore. Just because I'm afraid because I'm afraid it's going to take me out of where I need to be. And like especially if I'm doing something that's spacey and I'm watching something that's westerny, I don't need to I need to be careful because then my spacey will start looking westerny.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
I think that may be why I tend to watch more movies than television, is because with television, you can often get hooked on, episode, or a movie. You sit down and you watch it and you finish it.
Yeah.
So I don't really watch a lot of TV, but I do watch movies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so I can get in, get out, and then go back to what I'm doing. Where episodes, you're like, okay, I need to let's watch the next episode. There's that danger of binging.
Yeah. Well, that's the same way with gaming. I used to do that with gaming, but it's so easy to fall into the trap. Oh my goodness, I've got to finish this. Yeah.
So we'll talk about games here in a second. So Calculus says, I'm really wanting to get to reading Teen Beetle because I'm a Blue Beetle fan. Well, Calculus, I don't know if you saw the beginning, but I've just got these in my hands. This, of course, is the Kickstarter exclusive edition for Teen Beetle #2.
Nice.
Calculus, if you will send me an email to Roland at silverlinecomics.com, I'll get you the first issue so that you can read it. And
do you have Quentin's book over there? Because I don't think he's seen it.
Oh,
I think he has seen it. I think he spent hours and hours and hours.
Well,
I'm sick of it. No,
yeah. You see this, Quentin? I got it in my hand.
Oh, you got that Stephen Butler cover, yeah.
Well, I got the Kickstarter. I got all of them, but I just happened to bring this one back.
I cannot wait and I can't wait for #4 because man, where it left off in 3, everything was really, really starting to kick off. I can't wait.
You're going to be pleased to know that I ignored everything that happened in 3 and just made my own little story for them.
Yeah.
This is too much fighting, too much stuff going on.
You went the Highlander 2 route, huh? And just forgot the rest of the story.
Pete, I noticed that. I don't know what's going on in this book.
They made up at the end.
It's because you didn't read any of them, Tommy.
Let's all be friends.
Yeah.
That has actually happened to me before, being on something and then they totally go a different direction with it or something, and that's never good.
So you talk about games. So I don't know the games is absolutely a way for me to recharge creative energies. I do enjoy games, and Tommy and I have talked about this a lot, how addictive games can be.
Yeah, I can't plan.
I limit myself. So you guys may have heard, I Friday night is my game night, right? And I play games on Friday night, unless I'm at a convention, of course. And then I don't play unless I'm on vacation or something like that. I might, but Friday night, and I usually have a good, healthy Friday night. We're talking about 8 hours worth of gaming kind of thing. But now, one of the things, let me kick this out to you guys. One of the things that I've kind of tossed around a little bit, because we've got such an eclectic group here. One of the things I've tossed around is like maybe doing some kind of weekend special where we do Saturday morning or Saturday mid morning. Couldn't be Saturday morning because Tommy got to ride bikes. Maybe Saturday afternoon. Silverline Game Hour, in which we get 3, 4, 5 of us together and play a game online as part of a Silverline stream. And I'm talking like a card game. We can do what's that? Brett used to play this game where they played a game a little bit where they were all on a spaceship and somebody was sabotaging it and everybody else killing people and everybody else had to figure out who it is.
Oh, that's Among Us.
Yeah. Among Us. just get a group just to get together and just play for an hour and make it the Silverline, game hour. We can play, any kind of game, not restricted to a certain kind of game, but whatever we can get on there and do. So
I love
you guys,
that idea. Yeah.
do you like that?
Yeah, I'm a gamer, although not.
I think I see you on Steam sometime.
Yeah, I was on Steam a little while back, but again, it's something that started taking over just a little too much. So I had to get off.
Time for Steam. Oh my God, I wish.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, for me, it's Friday night, and that's my game night. So I don't do it, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. I don't do it any of those. But Friday night is my game night, and I have a good time. It kind of gets it out of my system. So.
Well, it is a good release.
It is
just as long as it doesn't start getting in the way.
Take
That's
over.
my thing. Yeah.
Well, and of course, I play with some old college buddies, and I love these guys. Don't get me wrong, but when we play things where you have to level up, we'll play and we'll all start at the same level. But about a month and a half into it, suddenly they've out leveled me by so much because they play all the time. And it's
when you start that with a group, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, my dude's level 20 and they're level 60. I'm like, well, how did you get to be 60? Oh, I played all day Saturday and all day Sunday. And then I popped on several times this week and did it. I'm like, yeah, well, the last time I played was last week. So it gets tough in those situations because they out level you. One of the games we play, Quentin, I don't know if you remember this one or not. We still play City of Heroes. Do you remember that game at all?
I never played that.
Oh my gosh. And see, I'm a superhero fan, right? And so this is one of the reasons that I love this game is because you go and you create a superhero and then you just go fight bad guys. You can, within the parameters of the game, but
are we talking a video game or okay.
Oh, I'll send you,
because I have played an RPG before that was kind of like that.
Look, did you play?
It wasn't a video game. It was a like a D&D.
Sure, Super World.
Playing. I don't remember the name of it. It was back in the late 90s that I played it, and we played it. We played it a lot. I had a speed character, and man, I had no idea before that. Because you have to not only pick your ability, you have to pick your, whatever your. And if you pick speed, then there's certain things that come along with speed that what do you call it? Weaknesses that come along with it. So it was pretty challenging.
That sounds like Super World. Dude, I played Super World for like 5 years in college.
Well, it was probably a derivative somehow.
College for 5 years.
Don't ask. Don't ask. Didn't you hear me say I had problems with algebra?
Oh,
well, I was in college for 6.
Did you change?
Did you get lost?
Did you get lost?
Yeah, I actually was a little bit lost. Did you know I went through the Northridge earthquake? It was awful funny during my senior year.
Roberta, you know that I lived on.
This.
I know that. Yeah. Look at this. We got Hyper Potato in the house. Hyper Potato says, like, subscribe, and make my Silverline. What is up, Hyper?
Yes.
Hope you are doing well, sir. I got stuff to send you, Hyper. Yes, as Hyper says, please subscribe if you are listening to us on YouTube. Please hit the subscribe button. And if you are not listening to us on YouTube, please go to YouTube and subscribe to us. Ovis says, I mentioned it to Roland at Infinity, but I'm curious what do everyone think of a trading card game that brings all of the indie comics together? Yeah. When Oven was telling me about it, Quentin, you were the first person I thought of. I'm like, you know what? I need to get Quentin in on this.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I do too.
I love card games and board games and all that stuff. Yeah, I love them so much. I like to make them. I like to sit. Man, that's really fun.
Yeah, he went through. Of course, the only kind of card game I play traditional cards. So I never played Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or anything. So he was explaining some stuff to me, and I'm like, okay, it all kind of makes sense. Kind of,
Yeah.
But I could tell it was kind of okay. This sounds like something you might do with Magic the Gathering. But again, my first thought was, okay, I need to get Quentin in on this to see what his calculus says. I beat all of you. I went to college for no years yet.
I didn't go right off. It took me a few years, of scraping by before I finally decided, I could be making more money doing less work if I just, went to school. But that's not always true either.
No, it's not. And listen, I have a lot of people often question me why I say this, because I am a college instructor, and yet I am very quick to say you don't have to go to college to do some things that you think you have to go to college to.
Yeah.
For instance, you don't have to go to college to make comic books.
Right. Right. It really depends on what you're going for. Like my wife, she got the highest return. She went back to college when she was 30. She went in the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
If that's going to be one of the things that's just the highest return.
Yep.
That and you do have to have the education in order to get the job. Which is good.
Yes.
You don't want just anybody working on you.
No, really? This is what brain surgery right out of high school?
I think the brain is here.
Yeah.
Well, you're cutting on my butt. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, comics is the kind of thing. If you got what it takes, that's all that matters. And I know I surprised. I met a young man down at Sunrise that was getting ready to go to college so he could be a comic book artist. And I said, well, you don't have to. I said, here's the deal. When I was an editor, and even still today, really, I never, ever, if somebody says, hey, here's my stuff, I never, ever I never ask for their degree. What degree do you have? Now, there are some exceptions, like Pete. We found Pete via Kubrick School, but that was a specific kind of connection in that, hey, we kind of know some people from the Kubrick School, so we kind of know what goes on there, right? And one connection led to another connection from the Kubrick School. But when I'm an editor, I never ask somebody, hey, where'd you get your degree? Because I don't care. If you can draw, you can draw, right? Yeah. If you can color, you can color. If you can write, you can write.
If you have worked your art coloring or inking or penciling up to the point where it's passable for a comic book, you've pretty much put the time in. For your college degree. You have a college degree equivalent because it takes so much work to get your work to the level that it needs to be for anybody to notice it in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I told the guy. And he didn't have any sequential art. And so I said, well, this is the first thing you need to do. If you want to make comic books, you got to start telling stories. And I know sometimes it offends some comic artists when you say, well, anybody can draw a pinup, but not anyone can tell a story. And
that's so true.
There's legitimately a lot of truth behind that, and a lot of people can draw a good looking pinup, but they can't tell a story.
Can't tell a story.
And if you want to draw comic books, then you got to learn to tell a story. And you can do that through years of studying your own, or you can do that through getting a degree. There are multiple ways you can do it, but in the end, what matters is, can you do it? It's the same for all of them.
And when you say that can or can't tell a story, you're not just saying that they can't do it sequentially in an order that people can follow. Sometimes it's a matter of, because when you're doing pinups, you're doing this pinup or this cover or whatever, and then you're off to the next thing when it's done. But with a comic, it's like you have to stick with it, even when you don't. I mean, you got to be able to stick with that thing. It's not like pinups where you can just do one. I mean, you're doing Sonic the Hedgehog, and then you're doing one of Mario, and then you're doing one of He-Man or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to be able to stick to one thing and stay there. And be mature enough to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, when you say telling a story, can you not only do it sequentially, but can you stick with it till its completion? You know?
Yeah. Can you do it multiple hours a day, multiple weeks in a row?
Yeah, I mean, because it's all exciting when there's a bunch of when there's a bunch of explosions in the panels and stuff, and everything's exciting, and people are fighting, and people are losing their heads and all that stuff. But then there's those that's dialogue time.
Yeah, you got to be able to draw everything, and it's like, I don't want to learn how to draw this stuff.
It's dialogue time. Mundane stuff. You got to be able to do it all.
Well, I'm so impressed with people that can come up with even just a room setting. How many thoughtful things have to go into like what's in this room. What kind of little tiny features would be set up everywhere to look at. And they're not part of the story. They're just part of the atmosphere.
Yeah, the atmosphere, yeah.
We were talking about that on one of the other shows about how putting little things in backgrounds that have nothing to do with the story, but it tells so much about, a character if you just throw little tiny trash in there.
And Jose liked his fish bones.
Yeah, that's what did it. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, this is my favorite part of this whole panel, and it was just the bones of a fish.
Yep. Yeah, something that's not, it's just so inconsequential, but it just says so much. Somebody took the time to put that in there, little details.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, it looks to me like we're winding down a little bit here. Anybody else got any final thoughts of how do you get your creative juices going again? I mean, we talked about a lot of stuff. For one final thing for me is music. I do like
that's a good one. Yeah, I didn't
certain
think
kinds of music. Yeah. And sometimes when when I was a kid, this is pre-internet and all that kind of stuff. When I was a kid, I would get a new album, and I would put the album on, and I'd put my headphones on, and I would lay in the floor, and all I would do was listen to that album. My entire attention was devoted to that. I don't really do that much anymore because I feel like, if I get something new, which I still get new stuff, right? I still get, I'm one of those the old fogies. I still get CDs, right? So here's a new CD I get.
It's CDs.
You're the one that's still buying the CDs.
Check out
won't let them stop making those.
Check out my rack of CDs right there. See my rack of CDs right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I still buy CDs. I still listen to them. But I don't listen to them in the same way that I used to most of the times. I used to just put them on and devote all of my time listening just to the music. Now I put it on and I'm doing something else, right? I'm doing something else. But I do find that some of my top 20 albums can really sort of re-energize my creative juices. I can put that on. I can put one of those on and listen to it and really kind of get the creative blood pumping again. And I can't explain it. I don't know why. I don't know how that works, but it works for me.
I didn't know Miley Cyrus could be so influential on a writer.
I have never owned a Miley Cyrus CD. No, all my stuff over here is prog rock.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was what it was called until a few years ago. But for those of you who don't know, who might be old farts, bands like Yes are considered progressive rock. So
progressive rock. Oh.
Yep, progressive rock. Yes, I think Rush would be considered. We just called them metal, But yeah,
so not the same metal.
What's that?
It's not the same metal.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not. I like metal, but I don't like the screamo metal, which I think Tim TK likes. I can't do if somebody sounds like they're yeah, then I don't think that's I'm like,
man, you did that good.
You should start a band.
Yeah, we can have the Silverline band.
We actually threatened
Game Night and Metal Night.
We actually threatened that one time because when I was doing a lot of conventions with Jeff Whiting plays the bass. Dean plays the guitar. Of course, I play drums. So we had threatened to get us a little band together, and we never did. Calculus says Living Color tends to be my go-to creative music. That's interesting. I know Tommy's used to be Run DMC, but
Beastie Boys.
That was Beastie Boys. That's right. Sorry, Beastie Boys. That was years ago, though.
Yeah.
Mine was Chemical Brothers.
I don't know Chemical Brothers. What the heck's Chemical Brothers?
Come on now.
You wouldn't know
Chemical Brothers. Well, I told you guys before. I have
it's just when you have something that gets you moving, it works.
Yeah. No. You're absolutely right. I'm not bad mouthing it. I'm just saying I've never heard of it. I've told you guys before.
It's electronic music. It's not really your thing. Probably.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't like it.
You wouldn't like it. I know you wouldn't like it.
Yeah, I've got some pulled up though. Any particular one I should listen to, Roberta?
No, any of it is a representation. So,
okay, all right. I've got some Chemical Brothers pulled up, and I'm going to give it a listen when we're done here.
I'm looking at it up right now.
I told you guys right now. I am very limited in my scope of music, and if you want to chastise me for that, you're welcome to it. But I am comfortable in my limited scope of music.
But that works for you, so I think that's great.
Yep, it works for me.
Well, for me, I listen to music that depending on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And not a whole lot, because if I just sit and freely listen to music, man, it really takes me up and down. Yeah. I like to be in control of it, and it not in control of me, my mood or whatever.
There you go.
Turn it down, Tommy. We can hear it.
That's rave dance music.
No, don't be talking about it now.
It's not a matter of being dance music. It's a matter that it keeps you passionate to go.
It works for Roberta. That's what
matters. Works for me.
No, I like it. I'm gonna listen to it. I'm putting it on my writing in the
rock, rap, or reggae always. So
that's cool.
We all like what we like.
That's it. That's right, and that works. That's why there are different sections in the record store.
That's right.
They have record stores still.
They don't. There are record stores still.
They don't have record stores anymore. Although,
yes, they do still have.
Fun fact: I heard on the radio that I think it was last year, 2021, vinyl outsold CDs for the first time in like 30 years.
Yeah, I think people are just collecting them. I don't think they're listening to them.
Yeah.
No, they have current artists still make them.
They do. Yep.
Well, I know Metallica. They press their own records now.
Good for them.
Yeah, they do.
I think they're like comic books. They're collectibles.
Yeah.
Who wants to listen to a record?
Okay. Final thoughts on creative juices. Anybody?
Food.
No,
I don't know.
So, if you backed our last Kickstarter, they are in my hands, and they will be. I will be working on getting those packaged up and shipped out this week. So, all of you who backed this Kickstarter, you know how it works. You should start looking for that towards the end of the week.
Yep.
We've got a new one launching this Thursday. You have, if you follow us anywhere, you have seen the links to that all over the place on all the social medias. Please go follow that so that you'll be notified when it launches. It also helps us with all the algorithms and all that stuff, get our numbers up. Last I saw, I think we had about 30 people following it, so we need to get those numbers up. Y'all get over there and follow that campaign so you'll get the notification. Let me find Hyper here. As Hyper said, please like, subscribe, and make mine Silverline. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Even if you're listening to us somewhere else, Oven, I know Oven's listening to us on Facebook. So Oven, jump over to YouTube real quick and subscribe to us if you're not already subscribed to us there. Like I said, you don't have to listen to anything there. Just give us a subscription. So help us get those numbers. We're trying to get to 500. Oven, and heck, Oven, if we can get there, you might even be one to win those free tickets to Daytona. Absolutely get up there. That'd be a good reason for you to go, wouldn't it? All right. So what else? Anything else before we call it a night here?
You already gave a shout out to the sponsors and all that.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Roberta, where can people find you on the interwebs?
For Roberta Conroy or Roby Conroy in Instagram and Facebook.
Excellent. Yeah. And here on Sundays, right?
And here on Sundays. Yes.
Tommy, what about you? Where can folks find you on the interwebs?
I'm hanging out with Roberta at her house. Oh, you mean on the internet? Just go into Google and type Florimonte, F-L-O-R. I know I spell it every time because you guys can't figure it out. Florimonte, and then here on Sunday, and yep.
And neither can you some of the times.
Oh, I am fixing to close this up.
Pete, what about you? Where can folks find you on interwebs?
On the Google, usually, if you type in Peter Clinton art, I do pop up. Not physically, but yes, I'm there.
He looks like this. He goes.
And does it say just a penciler?
It does not.
You should get that website.
Did you ever get that domain?
I haven't. No.
Oh man, you need to. All right, Quentin. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I thought y'all needed a little help.
We did.
Yeah, we did. We always need that.
I just figured I'd get
Thanks
on.
for coming.
Head.
Yeah, no, it was fun. Welcome here anytime, sir. You jump on anytime you're available. Where can people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram as Quentin J. Bedwell or Quentin Bedwell. That's Bedwell. Tommy.
Got it.
Yeah, just like it sounds.
You would just think that they could spell it, but people just don't get it.
Yeah, it's spelled like it sounds, Florimonte.
I know it does, but that's still crazy. Shut up! I'm gonna push you into alligators next time around.
Also, you can find me on Tuesday nights on that Silverline show on Tuesday. With the host, Tim TK, and also Jose Fuentes is on there. Aaron drops by most of the time. Mackenzie Wortman is on there from time to time. We have a good lineup. We talk about some of the same kind of stuff we talked about here tonight. It's a good show, good time. Hey, if you're not doing anything late at night, because here for me, it's like the stream starts at 10 o'clock, but I'm over in Texas. So, but if you're up late and you want some background noise while you do the dishes or wash the clothes or whatever, come by and you'll hear some funny stories. And,
what are you talking about Tuesday?
Tuesday, I have absolutely no idea.
How about I tell you?
Probably going to chase a bunch of rabbits. That's what
Tuesday, you are talking about brain bullets, how to show telepathy in comics.
There you go.
Oh, cool.
And then on Wednesday, the Whammers are going to be talking about comic book art styles. Can there be only one? And of course, we will be back here next week.
I want to hear what they say about that.
We will be back here next week. I'm not sure what our topic will be. We're having to pull I had a plan. We had a guest lined up, but they confirmed to me today that they couldn't make it. They're going to have to reschedule. So I gotta come up with some other topic for us.
Man, how many times is Todd McFarlane gonna?
Todd's a busy guy. Is all I can say.
Making them toys and them comic books.
I'll get you, Calculus. Send me a DM on Twitter. I'll get you. I'm Roland. You can find me all over the socials. Most of the times you're going to find me hanging with the Silverline crew here on Sunday nights and occasionally on Tuesdays and Wednesdays when I pop by and surprise them. Meanwhile, we will be back next week. Not sure what we're going to talk about next week, but until next week, remember to make mine Silverline. All right.
Hi, my name is Sergio Cariello, and make mine Silverline.